Okay, graphing calculator practice. Graph the line y equals 3x minus 3/4 x minus 1 using a graphing calculator and a sketch on the grid below. So y equals 3 divided by 4x minus 1. Okay, show both intercepts, graph it. There you go, both intercepts are showing. Write a suitable window that allows you to see both the x and y intercepts of the graph. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit, -5, 5, and -5, and 5. Okay, a little bit more zoomed in, and there is my windows, and here is my graph. Okay, use your graphing calculator to determine the x-intercept of the graph. So I go to second, trace, 0, that's the x-intercept. Okay, left bound, just to the left of it, enter, and then the right bound, just to the right of the x-intercept, enter, enter again, and my 0 is at 1.333, repeating. Next one, determine the y value for the following x value. So this is a trace function, so hit trace, type in an x value of 3.5, and I get a y value of 1.625. Okay, and then type in a y value, x value of 25, again a y value of, invalid, which means I need to adjust my window. X doesn't quite go to 25, right? So let's go to window, x value 25, let's go to 30 just to be sure, and then our y value needs to be adjusted as well. Okay, so let's go to 30 as well. Okay, now our graph is zoomed out. Let's go trace, y value of 25, x value of 17.75. Okay, determine the x value for the following y value. So on a TI, I have to go back to my y equals menu. When I want to find an x value given a y value, I have to do this thing where I create another line, y2 equals -1. So there it is. Okay, where the two lines intersect, that's where my x value is for a y value of -1. So let's go second, trace, and go to the intersect. Okay, bring the cursor down to where the two lines meet. First curve, yes. Second curve, yes. Press enter again. Okay, there's the intersection point. That x, it looks weird, but that's actually 0. And then the y value is -1. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Let's do y equals 256. If I graph this, you're not going to see the line because I need to reset my window. So y value of 256, I need to make a y max of at least 256. Let's go to 400 just to be sure. Okay, these two lines are going to intersect way past our screen is showing, so I need to increase my x value. So go back to window, and I'm going to increase it to somewhere around, let's say 400. Okay, now I can see a clear intersection, so let's go ahead and second trace, intersect. So remember, we're calculating an x value for a given y value of 256. First curve, enter, second curve, enter, guess, press enter again. So I have an x value of 342.6 repeating for a y value of 256. Okay, next one, we're going to graph a completely new line. So let's go clear this. So go back to y equals. Let's highlight the graph and just hit clear, clear. Okay, and we need to also reset our graph screen, right? We don't want this when we graph. So go back to zoom and go to Z standard 6. Press enter, and it resets our graph. Okay, so go back to y equals. Number 2, graph the line y equals -1/15 x minus 7. So -1 divided by 15 x minus 17. Show both intercepts. So not showing any intercepts. So I know there's a y-intercept of -17, so I'm going to go to window. And let's make a y min of at least -17. So let's go to -30. Let's graph that. Okay, I got a y-intercept, but the line goes up this way. So I have an x-intercept way this way. So I'm going to adjust my window, and let's go to a minus x min value of negative 300. And then there we go. I can clearly see y-intercept and x-intercept. Okay, next one, use your graphing calculator to determine the x-intercept of the graph. So this is our second trace. This is our 0. So I need the left bound. And then I need my right bound, so go to the right. Guess, yes. And so for so the 0, or the x-intercept of this line, is at negative 255. Okay, next one, determine the y value for the following x values. So that's a trace function. So trace, x equals negative 8. My associated y value is negative 16.46, repeating. Okay, and then an x value of negative 45. So we need to trace again. And our y value associated is negative 14. Next one, determine the x values for the following y values. So y equals 9, x equals, what is it? So let's see, we need to do this, remember? Negative 390, oh sorry, y2 equals 9, okay? Let's graph it, there it is. I need to see the intersection point, so I'm going to go out a little more for my x value. So let's go to negative 500, that should show our graph. And then show our intersection point, okay? Let's bump up the y max a little bit to 20. Okay, so I can see the intersection point a little more clearly, there we go. Okay, now let's go second, trace, intersect. So for a y value of 9, what is my x value? So I'll put it on both curves, first curve, enter, second curve, enter, guess, enter. And so I have a y value of 9, the associated x value is negative 390. Okay, last one, graph the line, y equals negative 0.035x minus 27.5. Okay, before we do that, let's clear everything. So I'm going to go back to my y equals screen, clear, clear. Okay, and I also need to fix this screen. Let's zoom and then 6 standard to clear it and bring it back to 0. Okay, and then let's graph the line, negative 0.035x minus 27.5. Okay, not showing up because my y-intercept is negative 27.5. So let's adjust the screen, so window. So the y min value, let's make it negative 50. Okay, the line gently slopes up this way, so I need to show more x value. So let's go x min value, let's say negative 1,000. And then that one shows our y-intercept and our x-intercept. Okay, and then you can write down your window values from there. Okay, use your graphing calculator to determine the x-intercept of the graph. So second, trace, go to 0. I need the left bound, so go to the left of the x-intercept. Go to the right of the x-intercept, press enter for guess, and then so the x-intercept is negative 785.7143. Okay, determine the y value for the following x value. So this is a trace function, so trace for an x value of 11. Okay, invalid because I need to show more on my x side. Okay, so window, x max, let's make that 100. Okay, so let's trace this time, 11, and then I get a y value of negative 27.885. Okay, and then for an x value of negative 300, I get a y value of negative 17. All right, folks, last one. So determine the x values for the following y values. So y equals, so there's my graph. If I have a y value of 4, I need to make another line, graph it. There's my intersection point, and then let's determine that intersection point. So I go second, trace, intersect. Let's go to the first curve and the second curve. And then we're going to press enter 3 times. So first curve, yes, enter. Second curve, enter. Guess, yes. And our intersection point is, for a y value of 4, x value is negative 900. Last one, folks. So let's get rid of this 4. This time I have a y value of 222. If I graph it, 222 is nowhere to be found because I need to adjust the window settings. Y max needs to be more than 222, so I'll say 300. Graph that. Okay, there's 222, right? 222, but the intersection point's somewhere this way. So I need to adjust my window. And this one, big adjustment, so I'm going to say negative 9,000. Okay, there's my intersection point. This is the line y equals 222. This is my original line. Okay, let's go to intersect. Okay, first curve, yes. Second curve, yes. Guess, yes. And I get an intersection point of negative 7,128.571.